close to halfway here in the Toyota-Napa Auto Parts Bonus Challenge 150 at the Douglas County Speedway. We're in Roseburg, Oregon. Mike Hogwood here along with Phil Parsons, and Bernadette Santacola is down on pit road for us tonight. Eric Holmes now approaching some lap traffic. He's got to be a little careful here.
Right now they're side by side in front of him. That may allow David Mayhew an opportunity to get up behind him, but car's still side by side in front of him. Mayhew now is going to try. Ooh, we get a little contact.
How about that? Is trying to take advantage is Mayhew with Sellers and Greg Rail in that 07 car right in front of them.
Mayhew is afraid to jump to the outside because he has Jonathan Gomez right behind him. He knows that if he opens up that hole and then he can't go anywhere, then Jonathan Gomez is going to be right there.
Look at Holmes. He got up high, and Mayhew tried to get underneath him. That's Jack Sellers in the 15, holding them up just a little bit.
Well, that's allowed Paulie Haraka to catch up. He's on the inside now at Jonathan Gomez. They make just a little bit of contact.
Yeah, Gomez and Haraka now battling for the third position. And if you're Jack Sellers, you just want these guys to get on by.
Look how much space that Jonathan Gomez now has lost to David Mayhew trying to work his way around Jack Sellers.
Well, you'd have to say that Holmes came out the winner here as passing this group of lapped cars. Now there's a clean racetrack in front of Eric Holmes.
Michael Self, now the 88 car, trying to make his way around Jack Sellers. He runs in the 5th position right now.
Give Jack Sellers some props, though. 63 years old, still out running, and he loves this sport.
Sure does. And he has a couple other cars here too, with Jonathan Hale and Justin Funkhauser.
Yeah, he's been a big part of the West Series for a long, long time. But has seen a number of fast cars get by him, and now it is Rail in the 07, the rookie, running alongside of Sellers.
Greg Persley had gotten by the 21 of Blake Cook, but now they've run into heavy traffic as well.
And look at the distance now that Eric Holmes has, as Mayhew may get a challenge coming up here in a moment. That is Gomez right behind him in the 22.
They make their way by the 3 car of West Banks. West being shown a couple laps down right now.
That's the thing when we have so many green flag laps, Bill. It is really tough if you're not right when you start the race to stay on that lead lap.
It really is, because you restart from the back of the pack to start with, so you're already behind, and the leaders with clean racetrack, as good as Eric Holmes is right now, and as good as David Mayhew was the first third of the race, they really make some time up quick.
And remember, there are no pit stops here. There's no chance to adjust your car. If you're bad at the start, you're going to be bad all day.
Yeah, fortunately, they got their 2 practice sessions in, even though the weather was threatening. They actually moved up the start of this race an hour because there may be some more stuff coming in later on.
Which is even more of a credit to this crowd that is here tonight. 5th, Michael Self has had a good run in the 88 car.
Michael was 4th quickest in the final practice this afternoon. David Mayhew was quickest in the first practice. Eric Holmes quickest in the second practice.
Boy, a lot of wear and tear on that Rod Nealon bumper in the 98. Somebody has bumped him out of the way a couple of times in this race.
Good battle. Moses Smith staying right with Michael Self.
But still, for these guys, while they're battling and for position, and it is a good race here, it is a long way to the front to Eric Holmes on a tight racetrack like this.
You can see right now Paulie Haraka has opened up about a 10-12 car length lead over Michael Self.
You know, on these long green flag runs, Phil, the good cars really separate themselves here.
Well, Mike, they really do, but you also have to conserve as we see a great battle for 7th again. Greg Persley was able to get by Blake Cook in the 21 cars. They lapped by Justin Funkhauser.
I've been impressed with Persley. He was behind Cook for a long time and has now managed to pass him for position on the racetrack.
Oh, trouble over in turn 3 and 4. Jonathan
Hale
is off the racetrack.
And he's in the mud.
I'm not sure how he got that far over there.
Well, he's brought out another caution, and that means the field is going to bunch up. Mayhew and Holmes will now be bunched side by side. 88 laps complete. Holmes is the leader. Mayhew running second. The last restart we had, Phil Parsons, it was Eric Holmes on the outside. He was able to take the lead. Can David Mayhew do it here?
That's exactly what's on his mind right now.
We'll see as we get ready to go back to green. Good restart for Holmes.
He got such a good restart that David Mayhew was able to pull right behind him. Oh, trouble. The 21 is around.
That is Blake Cook. Cook, who had been struggling to stay ahead of Greg Pursley, had lost that position, is now going to lose even more, Phil, and there's no caution flag.
No caution. He's going to lose all that track position. It'll look like the 13 of Todd Sousa. Look at Mayhew on the inside for the lead.
Mayhew has his fender underneath. He's pushed Holmes to the outside. Remember, no caution came out. And look at Eric Holmes. Boy, does he have some power in that race car tonight.
Boy, he was able to get on the throttle, get that rear end hooked up.
There's another
Gomez
spin.
goes around.
That's Gomez. Moses Smith goes into the infield.
Now the caution flag will come out. It looked like Paul Hiraka got into the left rear corner of Jonathan Gomez. I think Moses Smith just got caught up in the aftermath.
Tell you what, we're seeing these guys get a little racy here as we approach the last 50 laps.
It's getting late. Let's see if we can take a look at what happened here. It looks like the 12 of Paulie Hiraka is maybe going to make some contact with the 22. He does right there. Around he goes. Now watch, Moses Smith is going to try to turn to the inside. He gets run into by Josh Combs in the 9 car.
And Smith goes into that muddy infield. And remember, it has rained a lot here over the last week.
Here's another view. Watch, just a little bit of slight contact. The front end of Paulie Hiraka's car lifts up the back of the 22 car of Jonathan Gomez, gets the rear wheels off the ground.
Phil, there's a fine line, isn't there, between spinning somebody and trying to bump them so you can get that fender underneath.
Yes, moving them out of the way is normal here, but you don't want to turn somebody around like that.
And as we approach the final 50 laps, this race starting to get really interesting. The top 5 shaking up just a little bit.